Uh-oh, it's the number one. See what this is talking about.
Henny on 2nd down and 6 in overtime. Fakes to Martin. Fires underneath. Edwards on a screen. Cutting inside of the 16-yard. Eye, power right. Max Martin, the tailback. Quick throw out to Edwards. He shakes a man at the 20. Up the sideline. 15. Bucks a man at the 10. Gets down to the 7 and out of bounds. First and goal, Michigan. Get it to a playmaker. You always say.
6 stays in the block, Timmy. As Henny loads up for Edwards. A jump ball. And it is taken away. Spectacular touchdown. First and 10 from the 21. Henny puts it up. Edwards for the tying touchdown. He goes up. He's got it.
All game. Here's Henny back to throw. And he looked. And he's firing on a post cut. Edwards has it. 10, 5, touchdown. Well,
sit back inside on a post. And he gets by Hayes and then breaks over the middle. And Henny threw an absolute strike in.
The score, the year, where it was at, and what the opponent was. 841. I recognize that, yeah. It was a great game, man.
There's no parallel universe, as they say in Marvel. There's none of that where Michigan doesn't beat the doors off this Michigan State team. Whoa, 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 whoa. My birthday's not till next Saturday. I appreciate this new intro, but you still got about 8 days.
In the words of Kool-Aid, that's fire.
That was fire. I was locked in. And I'm wearing green today. That sucks, man. Hey, Joey, we got Joey in the audio booth, man. Joey's been working his way around the shows here at Woodward Sports. I'm sorry that was your first show with me. I promise you I didn't play.
No, but it's
Joey's
okay.
a Michigan State guy, ladies and gentlemen.
We're in the green. I can't complain
Okay.
one bit.
Respect.
We're cool.
Shout out to you guys, man. Welcome to the Braylon Show with Shep. Got my boy Shep over here, as well as El Jefe in the in the TD booth. Shep, what did you think about that intro, man? It was we got to start at 158.
I thought it was a little long.
158 and some change.
I did like it. I missed the Brent Musburger couple of full sound ups, we call it in television,
little
with Braylon Edwards. I love that.
Edwards took it away.
So it was, yeah, it's pretty special. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, it was awesome, man. I appreciate you. Are you hearing the echo? Do you guys
that it's
echo?
awesome.
No.
You wanted to hear more? Well, you got new beats on. That's the problem.
But I said, did you hear the echo?
Oh, did I hear the echo? No.
Oh, good. So
echo.
it's just in my ear. We get it locked and loaded.
Yeah,
little birthday gift, man. A little early birthday gift.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Well, yeah, next week, but I appreciate that.
All right, so we can celebrate it for a long time then.
That's typically what I do around this time, man. We celebrate for a very long time. All-Star is kind of like the very first part of my birthday, and then it carries out to the 21st. So.
Well, we're going to talk a little All-Star. We're going to talk a lot of Pistons for sure. Our friend Kool-Aid is in Los Angeles for the All-Star festivities. So that's pretty cool. Well, you can call him during the break. That's cool.
I'm just making sure he's not doing the show.
So we're excited for that. I was at the gym earlier today, and this dude says, speaking of the Pistons and playoffs, guy says out loud, he says, Cade Cunningham's the MVP. Now, in the past, usually I would immediately say, hold on a second. Let's start talking about some of the other guys. Instead, I took a Braylon Edwards approach. Are you ready? My thought was, okay, here's what I'm going to say. I agree, man. I mean, Jokic being the only player in NBA history before the All-Star game to score 1,000 points, have X amount of rebounds. So I gave him all those numbers. Right. I said, there's no way Wembanyama deserves it, considering what he's done so far this year for San Antonio. And I wouldn't even consider Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, considering he was the MVP a year ago and leads a team that is number one in the West and arguably the best team in football or basketball. So the guy looks at me and says, well, wait a minute now. So he actually had to take the other side, which was my side intentionally in the first place. Does that work for you?
No, that's not cool. That's not cool. You
Why
still with Shep.
Why not?
Because Shep, why couldn't you just tell this young man or old man, whatever he is, why couldn't you just tell this man, you know what, I agree. He's got a great shot to win it. I mean, he's playing lights out ball. You look what he's done for the Detroit Pistons, #1 team in the East, right there with OKC. They got a real chance to get to the finals. I believe in what they're doing. You know what, I can see that happening. Why couldn't that be the answer?
Well, but I did start that way.
You had to mention it was a trick.
It was a trick.
And by the time he realizes, once you get to the third and fourth player, he's like, "Oh, okay, this is sarcasm at its finest."
No, it wasn't sarcasm.
You're providing him with other options so that he can think in his head. And be
I
like,
want
maybe
him
I
to
judged
expand
a little
his
bit
thought
too soon.
process. Exactly right. 100% in the words of my friend Braylon Edwards.
It's-
It's not that I don't think Cade Cunningham deserves it. I think he belongs in that conversation.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't think he's in that conversation has not paid attention to basketball and doesn't know what the MVP is all about. He is clearly one of the, I would say, 3 guys who should be in that conversation. But to say that he definitely deserves it, there is a debate there. Is there not?
No, you're right. I mean, everybody who's deserving. I would drop Shai Gilgeous a little bit.
Oh, would you?
I would. I would go with Shai Gilgeous third. And I would have Cade. I would go Cade, Jokic, Shai Gilgeous third. But to your point, and then Wembanyama's in there. Maybe even Wembanyama third and Shai fourth, because realistically, Shai and his team have struggled with Wembanyama and his squad. But yeah,
They've lost both games to him.
Yep. There are three, right?
I think what needs to be done is we need to figure out what is most important to you. That's the debate every single time. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is second in the league in scoring. Only Luka Doncic is better. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shoots 55% from the field.
Yeah.
Now, we all believe that he gets to the free throw line much too often, okay? And I don't think he's the all-around player that Cade Cunningham is.
Right.
But I do believe he deserves to be part of that conversation.
He definitely is a part of the conversation. That's why I had him in there, just kind of have him for. Like, I appreciate what Shai Gilgeous is. I appreciate what that team is, too. And I appreciate what everything around him is, and I also appreciate what my eyes tell me. He can score at ease. Like, he's a walking 30-point. He's a walking efficiency. Gets to the line a lot. Not saying the refs blow the whistle a little bit too much. He knows how to manipulate the calls. Good for him as well. But I like what Cade is doing, both ends of the court. I like what Cade is doing in the absence. I'm not going to say absence, with an ascending number 2 in Jalen Duren and what Asar Thompson is able to do. So I'm appreciating that. Yeah, and I'm appreciating what Wembanyama is doing.
Yeah.
Looking at him, he's the alien that everybody had talked about when he was coming into the league. He was going to be the future of basketball, and we saw that in the Olympics. The Olympics, for me, was kind of like the start. It's like, all right, this guy's arriving, and now we see what it is. So I'm appreciating what these two, as well as who else did I say in that? But
Doncic, you said.
and Jokic.
Or Jokic, right?
Jokic.
Yeah.
And I'm appreciating what they're doing for their teams on night in, night out basis, both ends of the floor, maybe even too with the leadership side of things. So that's all. Nothing wrong with
No,
that.
it's cool. I love the discussion. I really do. Gilgeous-Alexander gets to the line about 9.5 times a game. Cade
Which isn't
Cunningham.
overly crazy.
It's third most in the league. Cade Cunningham is at 7 times a game. So I don't know what the disparity is or has to be for us to be outraged. But if it's about 2.5 more times per game, that's what that turns out to be, about 1 or 2 fouls a game. So I don't know how much of a big difference that truly makes. Bottom line is, I think it's awesome that we're talking about this and that Cade Cunningham is part of that. And, of course, he's in Los Angeles with Kool-Aid and Jalen Duren and JB Bickerstaff, and it's great. I have this question for you that I want your perspective on, because somebody asked me this on my show this morning, and they said, how come, we talk about the volatility of one Isaiah Stewart. Why does nobody say that about JB Bickerstaff as a coach and his volatility and his constant, in the words of the caller, chirping at the referees and his anger that is oftentimes pointed at the referees? Do you think that hurts the Pistons? How would you answer that?
This is how I will answer it. First of all, I want to say shout out to Joey wearing a dope Slam shirt. Shout out to Jalen Duren. We're talking about the All-Star experience. Jalen Duren is a part of that, so I had to make sure I showed some love to a job well done with the shirt. As it relates to JB Bickerstaff, I noticed that when he first got here is that he is MFing this and F this and you this and you know better, and there's a lot going on with him and the ref. However, I noticed there's, even if this sounds crazy, there's a respect level with the refs and JB Bickerstaff on a bigger scale that I think that the curse words and the hard, the language, I think maybe for some coaches, that's a part of it if you can have this respect thing that they do. Because I also see them in between timeouts having conversation, and it's not as loud. It's no curse words exchanged in those moments. So I think the cursing is a part of the persona, but I don't know if when he's having these conversations with these refs, if they even pay attention to that like that. I think for them, it's like, we get that. Because they get these moments with him one-on-one where it's very private, it's calm. So I think maybe that. Because he curses like a sailor. He goes after him. He's very aggressive.
That's okay. I mean, they're used to it, right? I mean,
and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not as soft as pass refs. Maybe this is the NBA trying to change that element. Because real talk, like if you whisper at a ref 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you're getting teed up, it's a foul, it's a conversation, right. They're going to warn you, etc. Now they're so used to the curse words. I mean, if we're being honest, Shep, you can curse at the podium now. You can curse in your podium. Like when you're doing after games, post games, pre games, you couldn't curse back in the day. They were finable offenses.
Right.
Now I think the curse word is becoming like, who cares? Like they see it all the time. They hear it all the time. It's not necessarily that big a deal. So I think maybe that plays into it too.
Yeah. People in the chat, Detroit grit means something to me. Cade has arrived for sure now. He's got an extra level. There isn't, let's see here, regarding CC is alive and dangerous. No question. Yeah. I don't know if there's another player in the league you'd rather have. And I'm not saying this as a guy who's a Pistons fan, all right? I'm trying to separate myself here. If you could pick one guy, Jokic might be the answer, but if you could pick one guy, Cade Cunningham, because of how much he handles the basketball, because of how much he makes others around him better, and that's blatantly obvious over the last 2 years. I don't know. That doesn't make him the MVP, by the way. I'm just telling you. Is there another player in this league you'd rather have at this stage in their career than Cade Cunningham? I don't think there is.
I'm going to get Hefe and Joey in on this, let you guys think. As I think about it, I like to be patient. I like to be very intentional with my answers these days. Hefe, what do you think about that? Right now, is Cade the guy for you around the whole NBA?
Absolutely is. I actually called this back in the beginning of the season. I said, Cade Cunningham MVP. I put money on it. I stamped it. I did everything you could. Okay. I said it multiple times because
hanging out with Kool-Aid.
I truly believe. If you really look at, when a player comes into his own, it's usually around the age of 24 to 25 when they begin to really, if you're an elite player and you're an all-level player like Cade Cunningham is, those are the time where now you have to separate yourselves from the rest of the league. You have to be top 5. Your team has to be, vying for a championship. All these things matter when you get to the age of 24 and 25 in the NBA because that is when you're supposed to be hunting for the championship. They expect you to be there now because you've already been in the league for, 4 or 5 years usually. So now it's time to, kind of put a stamp on it. We see what is the criticism of him? He hasn't reached it. Yeah. And that's the problem. So for Cade, I wanted this to be his stamp on not only am I here, but my team is here. We're ready. Because in order to be MVP, your team has to be number one. It's just what it is. Your team has to be number one. If not, they're not going to give it to you. Okay. So he's doing this.
Let's not get too hyperbolic. That's not true. There's plenty of guys whose team isn't number one that have won the MVP. Okay.
But they have to have absurd numbers.
Okay. Well, most MVPs do have absurd numbers.
Yeah, but I'm saying for Shea and Jokic, what was the difference between them two winning the
last
MVP?
Year, it was
Shea's team was number one and Jokic was not, and that's why Shea won the MVP.
That is fair.
So for Cade to, truly jump these guys, this team has to be number one, and he has to play it at an absurd level. He leads the league in assists. Not only that, but I highlighted this as well on our Pistons watch streams and everything. Cade Cunningham is by far the most elite two-way player in the NBA right now in terms of on the perimeter. Because what he does defensively matters too.
Yeah, I think he's underrated defensively, quite honestly.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, you can tell he's been hanging out with Kool-Aid because the question didn't require an answer that long. But I appreciate the answer. There's a lot of good things in there. Now that I got a chance to take a second, which sometimes you have to do in life, take a second. I got the player that I would choose. It wouldn't be Cade first. Cade's the top 3, but I don't think I can choose anybody over Victor Wembanyama right now.
Okay.
Like if I'm talking about like right now,
it's not a wrong answer. There's no wrong answer here. I'm
saying I would go Victor Wembanyama, and I would choose Cade over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because of both ends of the floor. What I can expect of Cade and where I see Cade transcending. I like that.
Yeah,
Wemby 1, Cade 2.
Fair enough. I think that's a great answer. I really do. I think I love. We all love Cade Cunningham. That's great. Again, I don't think you have to be one. Russell Westbrook won it. His team was 6th place as the MVP. You don't have to be number 1. Your team doesn't have to be number 1 for you to win the MVP.
But that goes back to what Hefe was saying about the stat, though. Like, if you're not going to be number 1, the stats have to be astronomical. If I remember correctly, that year, Russell was at 32, 12, and 12.
Correct.
Was doing something that
32, 11, 10 and a half. You're damn right. You're right on the money there. All I'm saying is let's not paint it like you've got to be on a future champion or your team's got to be number 1. That's not the way it works, okay? It helps. It helps that your team is better, but there's plenty of examples in sports, not just the NBA, in which you think a guy is more worthy than not.
To that point, if Wemby won it this year, you would be exactly correct because they would be 3rd. I think they're 2nd in the West, but they would be 2nd, 3rd.
Yeah. And most people would say, I don't have a problem with it. If Jokic, who you love so much, and rightfully so, if he happened to win it, their team his team's in 3rd in the West. And that's okay too.
Jokic is in a position now. I think this happens to a lot of MVPs. It happens when you ascend to the mountaintop and when you put out play that is consistently great. Like every time we watch Jokic, like legitimately, he's having nights where it's 42, it's 15 and 12, and we're not batting an eye because we've seen it so many times. So unfortunately, how great he is, he's put himself in a class where you're like, all right, I know you're doing things we haven't seen before, but can you make them just a little bit greater so then we can give you MVP? So now we're looking to give someone else an MVP because we've seen him get it a couple times.
That's what I've used that example all the time. And by the way, his first MVP, his team is 47 and 25. They were 3rd in the West, but
Shep gonna come with them facts. Just let you know.
Here's the example though. When you win an MVP, you're not just measured against every other guy the next year. You're measured against yourself from the previous year. That's why when Jordan wins MVPs, it's unbelievable. That's why when Wayne Gretzky was MVP 9 out of 10 years in the National Hockey League, it's unfathomable. He's not being measured against Messier and Lemieux and Yzerman. He's being measured against them and his season the year before. That can't help but creep into your mind. Lamar Jackson wins it. What did you say last year?
Quality.
Okay, should have. He's measured
right now.
He's measured against what he did the year before.
You're cooking right now.
That's what it's all about. When Cade Cunningham wins an MVP, and I'm pretty confident he will sometime. It may not be this year, but at some point he's going to win an MVP. This year's going to help him get closer because a lot of it's about preseason hype too. But when he wins it, he's going to be measured against himself from the previous year. As long as people understand that. And his team will be too.
I don't like what you did just there. Like, you understand my love for Lamar Jackson, so you like brought him in. He roped me into the – see, Shep is dirty.
Then I got the hell out of it.
But then I had to support. I was like, well, he's absolutely correct because Lamar did have a better year.
Yeah, right.
Good job.
Kool-Aid's in Los Angeles for the All-Star game.
Top of the second hour.
Top of the second hour.
Top
Great.
of the second hour. We're locked in.
We do want to talk about some of our favorite All-Star memories. So we're looking for Joey and Hefe and you in the chat for sure to give us some of your favorite All-Star memories. I love that topic. It's my partner's topic who is all over it, and I'm going to give you something that goes back in the time machine a little bit. Okay. I've got 3 examples. Not that I saw them all, but one will blow your mind on what the hell happened, and the other is, of course, with one of our beloved Pistons. We'll get to that coming up on the Braylon Edwards Show. We want you involved in the chat. Smash that like button. Let's hear from Ven Johnson and Art and Jakes before we get to that.
Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it takes to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. So when something goes wrong, make Ben Johnson not the second, not the third, not the fourth. Make it the first call you make. He is the fighter who's been fighting for a very long time at a very high rate. VENfights.com. Go there, communicate with them. Anything you need as it relates to this case, they will make happen. Whether it's a settlement or verdict, they'll get you the case and the results that you deserve.
we're going to see some verbal jousting here as we get closer to the second Michigan State battle. It might be Joey and Braylon. It might be Anson and Braylon. But, yeah, Michigan won the first go-around. Spartans are looking for a rematch, and they're going to get it on March 8th. It's round 2, Michigan and Michigan State, and we want you to watch it with us at Art and Jake's in Northville. That's when the Woodward Sports Party will have the matchup watch party. Sunday, March 8th in Northville. We've got the rivalry, wall-to-wall screens, best food and drinks you can find. And then
it's great
2 nights
to be a Michigan.
Two nights later, and then I suddenly heard a go green, go white. 2 nights later, Darren McCarty takes center stage. Tuesday, March 10th, he brings his slapstick comedy show to Art and Jake's, same location, Northville, 7 o'clock. Join us for both. Hoops on Sunday, DMAC on Tuesday, Art and Jake's. Be there.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shaq Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like DMAC. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
When you have everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. from Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hefe and I are going to crack a Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea after this show. Real vodka, real iced tea. He looked at me the other day and said, Shep, it's clean, it's crisp, it's only 100 calories. I said, who are you talking to? Of course I know that. It's real iced tea, man. It's Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Let the good times cruise with Hefe and Sun Cruiser here on the Braylon Edwards Show. But please drink responsibly.
And tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Look, we're all strong on that planet, and once again, that planet is Planet Fitness. Over 50 metropolitan Detroit location. It is the gym for you because there's no judgment. There are super clean locker rooms, and there's also trainers on staff to help you get through your process. Whether you're just starting, whether you've already been coming, keep it coming to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
A lot of people looking in the chat about the possibility of your various NFL mock drafts. Are you there yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you? Okay, you're there.
I think so. Like, I think that will be something fun next week.
Well, I was just wondering if you're ever looking at them. Do you kind of
because I want to see. I want to see where people have certain individuals rated. That kind of starts the process. That also helps me kind of watch a little of the film on the guys that I want to watch film on. So yeah, 100%.
Hefe, how many are you looking at? How many mock drafts are you looking at a day?
Me, I'm a degenerate, so I tend to look at about 4 or 5 different ones.
I love the self-deprecation.
He was honest.
I'm actually looking at NBA mock draft, and it's a.
Hefe just told everybody in the chat, I have no life. I'm looking at NFL mock drafts constantly. Joey, how many are you looking at?
A day, maybe like one.
One? Okay.
One or two.
All right, one or two. All right.
Crazy.
Yeah, I would say.
You got to look at different sources.
Yeah, me too. I would say about 3 for me, so not as many as Hefe.
Check them against other sources and against other sources.
Yeah, I want to see. Sometimes you get common names in certain places.
Yeah.
Not always it's 17 for the Lions, but it might be 15, it might be 19. Somebody right in there, you're going to be able to say you could justify why they may be taking them.
Yeah, I think it also teaches you about the draft. I think especially now more than ever. I think back in the day, I knew all the players, and I would start my scouting as it relates to boom, season's over. Let me go to get my scouting, get my information, get my videos, make my calls, hear from my plugs, if you will. Now with the movement of players are at this school, that school, this school, that school. You never know what they are. So by the time you get to this point, now you have an understanding of kind of these are the players people are looking at. Now I can go and watch the videos and make my own assessments. You can benefit from it. Doesn't matter how much football you watch. Like players and names, they kind of slip through the cracks.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we always know what we're looking for anyway. I used this example earlier today. The kid Aya-One from Penn State. Yeah, see, Joey just made a face like somebody farted in the booth. Well, he's the best guard in the he's supposedly the best guard in the NFL draft.
Yeah,
he played at Penn State. We're all Big Ten, right? You're Michigan State. You're a Big Ten guy. How many times did you notice him? Probably none, right? And I don't blame you. How many people would? But he's supposed to be the best guard.
This is true, but also too, Penn State was a letdown this season. So in that conversation, I would have to go back to the 2024 season when Penn State went to the playoffs and they actually won a game or two. I think they beat Boise State, SMU maybe, but I would have to go back and watch. They were really good that year, at least as protecting the quarterback and the ground game. So Tyler Warren had a hell of a year that year for them. So I would have to go back 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tyler Warren. Wasn't it funny that everybody was complaining that Chicago took Colston Loveland instead of Tyler Warren? And look who turned out, at least first year.
I know some players that, Tyler Warren's going to be a hell of a tight end.
He is.
Tyler Warren has arrived. Colston Loveland's going to be a really good player for that offense as well, for that scheme as well.
Yeah.
I think they went where they were supposed to go. I think Tyler Warren's a little bit more quieter dude. He's chill. He's about ball and being a tight end, which is nothing wrong with the opposition. You saw how they kind of rallied around him. He became that guy for them as it relates to that. On the other side, Colston Loveland's a big city boy. I know he's from Ann Arbor, but he turned up. He plays to the crowd. He panders a little bit. He has some fun. He talks, you know what? That seems like Chicago. He fits being Caleb Williams' tight end.
He's a good player, man.
Yeah, damn good
player. He's a good player. So
clutch.
Anyway,
clutch.
He is a
the
clutch
player. Moments is when he tends to pop out. That's what you say a lot about those great players. Who are you when they need you?
Yes. Who's some of the best clutch players you've played with?
Played with Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis was clutch. Earl Thomas was clutch. Marshawn Lynch was clutch. DeQuell Jackson, linebacker, was clutch. Kellen Winslow, man, like if he's not being dumb on that motorcycle in the parking lot, literally a week after I got drafted, like he would be better than Travis Kelce and all those dudes. He was clutch when he was healthy. Joe Thomas, like he's the walking I'm playing, the walking starting game, the walking not missing practice, the walking I don't care what the record is. I'm bringing my hat and my lunchbox, and I'm gonna give you all this work.
That's part of the definition of clutch.
1,000%. Joe Thomas, rest in peace, Nick Mangold. Nick Mangold was clutch. Like he was gonna make sure that Mark was good through the center. He was gonna make sure he was good through the middle. He's gonna make sure guys got identified and such.
It's a lot of guys, man. That's good. That's cool.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Patrick Willis was clutch.
Oh man, that dude.
He was a monster.
Bad man. He was a bad man at Ole Miss.
Yeah,
then when he got to
So
one of those guys.
To name a few.
I wish he could have played longer.
Yeah.
But I understand why he didn't. So anyway, I was just wondering about the mock draft thing. You know, Monroe Freeling is another one of those guys. Braylon says he's a member of the old Negro League baseball.
I'm not disrespecting any,
but a guy who only gave up to I think 2 sacks in the last 2 years. But he's another name to look out for. The reason I asked part of that is because during the montage coming back, we hear from Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell's saying, you know, the inspirational speeches that he oftentimes gives. And we're in the off season of football, but really there is no off season. We love talking football all the time. We heard from Drew Petzing yesterday. He said some really good stuff for a recent interview in Pride of Detroit. So I really enjoyed listening to the whole thing, and he answered some really good questions. Dan Campbell, I'm trying to figure this out, and I'd love your perspective on this. I remember talking to Doug Collins when he first came here, and I said, what did you learn from Chicago that you're going to take into your job here at the Pistons? And he said, not to talk as much. He said, players tune you out if you talk too much. It's kind of like parenting. You end up tuning out your parents. Do you think Dan Campbell is talking too much? We're hearing from him, and people need to, enough is enough?
Yeah, I would take the mic away from Dan Campbell. This is no disrespect to Dan Campbell. I think he's a really good coach for this Detroit Lions team. You see what he's done over the last 5 years. We get all that. We're tired of hearing about that. The reason why I say I would take the microphone from him right now, there's nothing we want to hear from you. Like, at the end of the day, you did not make the playoffs this year. There were moves that you did not make that a lot of people think you could have made. There were things that could happen before the season that didn't happen. There were struggles during the season that we talked about before the season, and they still happen. You go back even further to the last playoff game the year before, they got outclassed by the Washington Commanders. So when I look at from there till the end of this season, we get it, Dan. You guys, you had some injuries. You didn't play up to snuff. You're going to change it this offseason. You hired Drew Petzing. You hired Mike Kafka. You will draft well. You'll do some things with the money. You and Brad and Sheila, you guys are the Holy Trinity. You're on the same page. We already know all that. There's nothing that can come from Dan Campbell right now that I think will fall on open ears from the fan base. And it's nothing against him. It's just, what can you do in this moment? Like, unfortunately, the season's over. Like, draft hasn't happened. There's no moves being made as relates to free agency because those doors haven't opened up yet. Like, all we have right now is 9-8, losing to the Minnesota Vikings twice, and everybody's saying, we'll be better next year. So I'm tired of hearing that we'll be better next year. I'm tired of hearing this guy and that guy. There's nothing we can say right now. Players feel that same way. Like, players, when you have a letdown of a season, no matter what it is, it's a letdown. If you had a great individual year, but your team doesn't meet the team goals, which is getting to the playoffs, which is getting to the NFC Championship game and potentially getting to Super Bowl, like, we think. Like, I've been on teams where went 10-6 and didn't make the playoffs, and we had games we could have won and we didn't, and that's why we didn't get in. You're legitimately at the house like, damn, I can't wait to play football again. Because right now their thoughts on us are sour. They're sour because we let them down. We didn't get into the playoffs. We didn't get into the dance. We had an opportunity here, and we lost to the Steelers. We had an opportunity here, and we lost to the Minnesota Vikings twice. Like, these are things that players think about, so they want to get back out there. The fastest way to get a sour taste out of fans' mouth is padding up and playing, and that, unfortunately, or at least a draft. So the first time I think we want to hear from Dan and those guys is probably around like the combine.
I would agree with that.
The combine.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that.
And it's not even against
I guess
Dan,
I can't be too hypocritical. Yeah. I would like to know what he saw in Drew Petzing, and he sort of answered it the other day. But now it's a really good time for him to just lay low. And it's not his fault, by the way. It's not. People are asking him questions. He's answering the questions.
True.
Okay? It's not his fault. And to your point, we're not sitting here saying he's not a good coach. Love him as a coach, all right? But now's a good time to just give it a rest.
Just take a step back.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that. And there's a lot that the Detroit Lions, have to occupy this offseason. Take time, figure it out, to occupy that. Next time we hear from you, probably be around, February 10th, February 9th, and you're telling us what the plan is, what you're looking for as you're going into Indianapolis for this potential 2026 combine.
Let me ask everybody this: which starter on Dan Campbell's team would you be willing to trade as part of a package for a needed star or a position of need for this team? It doesn't have to necessarily be a star. I know where your mind goes immediately. Max Crosby. I think he's got the 5th highest hit against the cap in football this year. I doubt that's happening, okay? But it's player X, whoever it may be. You need that player. You can't necessarily afford that player unless this one player from your roster, in addition to other resources, it could be 2 firsts, could be a first and a third in the future, whatever, because Brad Holmes likes to wave goodbye to 3rd-round picks, and say, hey, listen, this is the guy I would surrender. Who would it be?
So when you ask a question like that, I assume you want somebody to be on the higher end of the money they're making so we can really make a move as it relates to bringing somebody in. So that's where my mind initially goes to. Defensive side, I immediately thought of somebody. I thought of 2 people. One on the defense, one on the offense. You can have both DBs, by the way. I definitely would trade them in a heartbeat. But no jokes on the show. It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? Week before the birthday.
There's plenty of jokes. Go right ahead.
I already got it off. I said I would trade both DBs in a heartbeat to get a package. I don't know what we receive. I would say Aleem McNeil and Jamison Williams would be the first 2 people to come to mind. And Jamison Williams will be the name that I know people are listening to chat. Like, I know Braylon didn't say Jamison Williams after he told us what type of receiver he is, and you got to have him on the outside and what he can do for all my. Yeah, I'm saying Jamison Williams, and the reasons why is for his elite of a wide receiver. He makes $28 million a year starting this season coming up, this season. For elite of a wide receiver that thought he could be coming out of Alabama, watching the national championship game against Georgia, for the flashes that we've seen since he's been a Detroit Lion, they don't use him enough to validate right now a $28 million a year contract if I have opportunities to use that to bring in some other people to help. I look at that offense without a Jamison Williams. You can go find another individual. And, yes, I also said this comment. You could not. I'm changing that. You can find another individual for how they use Jamison Williams, you can find another guy that runs 4.3 that could do those things. They don't use him, in my opinion, like Devontae Smith 2 years ago when the Eagles were really cooking with him. So since they don't use him that way, you're going to be fine with Sam Laporta. You're going to be fine with whatever running back you have opposite of Jahmyr Gibbs, whether it's David Montgomery, whether you bring in another guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown is still your wide receiver. The offensive line will come. So looking at it that way, I think you can get a lot more return for J-Mo or Aleem McNeil.
That's interesting.
That's where I'm at.
It really is. I mean, he's due to make $8 million next year, okay, but the dead cap hit would be $25.5 million. So I'm trying to take that.
If we trade it?
Yes. It's dead cap.
I got you.
So I don't expect everybody to have Sport Trek in their mind and be able to say that. I'm just talking about names. So you gave me the 2 names I was looking for, and by the way, those were the exact 2 names I had. And this is nothing. Yeah. This is nothing against Jamison Williams.
It is not.
Because quite honestly, I like him a lot. I think he's great. Here's the problem I have: when you have a guy like Gibbs and Laporta coming up, and we think they're both really important to this team, and somebody said to me this morning, well, you can find running backs and tight ends. Yes, but can you find them who are this good and this consistently good? Probably not. There's a reason why they play as much as they do. But there's only one football to go around, and you've got to address certain needs for this team. And that's the reason that I was thinking about it. If you had the chance to go get somebody who's going to be a difference maker on the defensive side of the ball, whether it be a corner or a defensive end, and you know damn well you're going to have to give up something to get something, those are the names that I thought of. Now, of course, Aleem McNeil's coming off injury, so people probably wouldn't be interested in that. But Jamison Williams is the first name that I thought of.
Yeah, too. I look at it like this for the people out there that were like me in the past. I get it, and I accept everything that's said in the chat. Feel free to unleash. But we've had 3 offensive coordinators since Sam Laporta has been here. We had Ben Johnson, we had Dan Campbell, and we had Johnny Morton. All 3 of those offensive coordinators, they featured Sam Laporta at some point. All those coordinators featured Sam Laporta, and it wasn't a situation like when they featured J-Mo because Amon-Ra St. Brown is hurt or because Sam Laporta is hurt, so now they need somebody to pick up that load and somebody to make plays and make things happen. Everyone has featured Sam Laporta. We don't even have to mention what Jahmyr Gibbs is and what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. You have 3 features there.
I like that. I never thought about that.
Featured
all those different offensive coordinators. What's been the consistency?
Ben worked them in from time to time. He had his set plays, but it wasn't a feature.
Right.
Johnny Morton, what did he say to us? I failed you.
Yeah.
And then Dan Campbell, he made some plays here or there, but most notably it was when who was hurt, who was injured, Sam Laporta as well.
Yeah,
as
well said. I like that a lot. Yeah.
And I love J-Mo.
Continue. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just never thought of it that way.
No. So you have 3 features in those guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown would be a feature wide receiver, a feature number 1 wherever he went in the NFL. Same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs and same thing with Sam Laporta at the tight end position. You have 3 features. And also you have an individual who, when we saw him in the game, we see that he can play, and that's Isaac Tesla. And we expect him to take a major jump, major stride this year. So looking at it from that lens, unfortunately, he would be the one, but it's because what we could get back in return. I believe in the
There's got to be value coming
100%. It's a big chip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Hefe? One you can name one on each side of the ball, the one guy that you would let loose or be part of a trade package that would bring you back high-end talent in a position of need.
Yeah, for me, it was the name that immediately popped in my mind was Elaine McNeil. I actually kind of looked at the spell track with him and a trade for like Max Crosby, which the dead cap is still gonna hit.
yeah. It's $38 million dead cap for a league.
Just thinking of like a player that would be someone that they can move off of to go get someone better or to get a more elite player. I think Lee McNeil. I'm not on the side of getting rid of J-Mo because I actually think that contract for what receivers are making now is actually a pretty decent contract for him in terms of what he can give you production-wise. Sure. Do they have to, of course, use him more in a better way? Absolutely.
They're going to have to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown again.
Yeah.
Once they have J-Mo locked in like that, they're gonna have to pay. And that contract is gonna be 35.
Yes,
in 2 years.
I mean, I want you to think about this for just a moment.
35 and 28.
Yeah, that's big. Think about this for just a moment. This is what happens. This goes back to Braylon's thought a long time ago. Jared Goff. It's not that he didn't like him. The amount of money you're paying him is excessive.
Just a little extra.
Okay, and it puts you in a tough spot. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying it does. It puts you in a tough spot where you have to win. Here's the thing. Aleem McNeil, if I said to you, who's going to make more money in 2026? Aleem McNeil or Penei Sewell, who was graded out, I know, Braylon's going to roll his eyes, Pro Football Focus, as the best offensive lineman in football this year and the best offensive lineman grades over the last 5 years.
I don't have a problem with that.
I was just talking about Pro Football Focus because you and I both kind of roll our eyes.
But some players, I'm like,
yeah. Who's gonna make more?
Yeah. That would be Aleem McNeil.
That would be Aleem McNeil. He's gonna make $29 million this year.
Yeah.
I'm not sure people are aware of that. That is a heavy, heavy stone to carry. Yeah. So yours would be Aleem McNeil.
Thanks, Brad.
Even though I know that the dead cap is absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't mean to bring that into it. Okay, I'm just giving you that for just information. A name, I was just looking for a name, and you gave it to me. It's perfect. Joey, who do you got?
Yeah, defensive side, I'm definitely locked in with Aleem McNeil.
Okay.
I mean, just big contract.
Yeah.
Coming off the injury. I mean, remember the Tampa Bay game last year when we had the Legion of Whom? He was an absolute stud.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Super good.
Yep.
But then after that game, we didn't see shit.
That was it.
We did not see a single soul from him.
Correct.
So coming off the injury, and you know, this also makes me worry. What's going to happen with Brian Branch with the injury? Is he going to come back the same? I don't know with the injury. So that's my defensive side. But then offensive side, I'm really considering Sam Laporta because you got to re-sign Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and Brian Branch. You're probably not going to re-sign all those guys.
You're not.
You're not. You're probably only going to get 2.
Okay.
So you got to get Jack Campbell. I mean, that's no question. And Lions fans, I would probably bias it and are going to say Gibbs because I just think he's generational talent when it comes to running backs.
Yeah, remember his cost though. I mean, if you're looking at cost,
I know he's a running back.
22. No, I was saying Laporta, not heavy. That's not a heavy lift right now
True.
for Sam Laporta. You don't really have to. I wouldn't get rid of guys who I'm going to be able to keep for a couple of years, and I don't have to push.
But the money's not bad.
But yeah, you are going to have to give up something, obviously, to get something. If you're worried about Brian Branch's health, you're doubly worried about Kirby Joseph's health.
Oh,
It's also interesting. Nobody said DJ Reed, except for him. He said, I'd get rid of both corners. DJ Reed's going to make over $17 million next year.
Because I look at it, too, like, who wants him?
Well, that's what I was just going to say.
Who has
Who's
more
going to
trade
bring him
value?
back? That's the problem.
Who has more trade
But why
value
would Aleem
between-
McNeil have any trade value?
Right. Who has more trade value, though, between Aleem McNeil and DJ Reed? Because, let's be honest.
I'd say Aleem McNeil.
I would say Aleem McNeil because...
I would, too.
Yeah.
You had to replace Carlton Davis, and you brought in DJ Reed. But let's be honest. DJ Reed was just a bad signing. He didn't have a great year. He didn't
have a great year.
So
he didn't.
But you had to fill Carlton Davis' shoes. And that was
It doesn't mean you have to
hard.
fill it with a guy who you signed to too much of an exorbitant contract. It was a bad signing for a year. I expected more out of him considering the year before that he had with the Jets.
Sure.
I'm going to be hesitant to say it's completely a bad signing because it was bad for 1 year. If he's bad again, then that makes me even more concerned.
Yeah, also, too, it's about the bang for the buck, but it's also about what happens when you get a comparable defensive line. What happened when the linebackers next year play a little bit better? It eases the stress a little bit for the DBs. DBs won't have to run around and chase wide receivers all day long around the field. So
exactly.
It will help. Aleem is where you get that bang for that buck.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. If we're going to complain about
Marcus Davenport shoot.
Yeah, Tyleek Williams wasn't good last year, right? Aleem McNeil wasn't good last year. Marcus Davenport or fill in the blank wasn't good against the run in certain situations. Everyone's like, okay, Al-Qadim Muhammad, whatever, all right? It's 4 games where he was really good. I'm not making excuses for DJ Reed or Terrion Arnold by any stretch, but part of their struggles was because of the struggles from some of the guys up front. I think it goes hand in hand. If we're going to say part of the struggles for Jared Goff and his sacks at 38 is because of the offensive line, we can also use that on the other side of the ball with other players in other positions.
And see, DJ Reed is another one of those signings where I give Brad, it's not giving credit, but I'm looking at Brad Holmes and making those moves. DJ Reed was known when he was in Cincinnati to be a guy that was out of shape. He was a guy that didn't necessarily work as hard, so those LBs would go up from time to time throughout the season. He didn't work hard. That was the moniker. That was the tag on him. Then he gets injured. We go in, we take a guy that doesn't like to necessarily put forth all the effort, doesn't necessarily work as hard, doesn't necessarily in the best shape, who gets injured. This is the guy we choose to pay the money to.
Right.
Like, those are the type of the moves where I'm like, but then I was sold on the fact that, once again, that versatility. That's the thing. He can do this and he can do that. Plays the run well and also can get there and rush the passer. Haven't seen him rush the passer, though.
What was his biggest problem this year, do you think? What disappointed you most about him?
John Cena. Like, it was a lot of their defense, and that means I didn't see him. I didn't necessarily see him out there. I didn't see him making plays. I didn't hear, for what we paying, he's one of the highest players on that defense. I want to say he was the second highest roster hit on the defensive side of the ball, and you just don't see him. You don't see him making plays, and he's not helping out the guy to his left that he should be helping out, which is Aiden Hutchinson.
I'm sorry. I was referring to DJ Reed, not Reeder. My apologies. I was talking about DJ Reed, the cornerback, not DJ Reeder, the defensive tackle.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So DJ Reed going out and getting him. I'm not judging him on the 1 year. He wasn't as good, and he was hurt.
DJ Reed always played from behind. Like, whenever you're watching him in coverage, like, he's always behind the wide receivers. When the wide receiver, 100%, he's always trying to catch up. The receivers always get the clean release. He's tugging at him. He's pulling. He's committing fouls as soon as the play starts. And the referee's just like, well, which one do I choose? Do I choose you at the beginning when you got cooked at the 7 yards and you tugged them and pulled them back? Do I choose at the top where you stuck your foot out and tripped them a little bit? So it seemed like for a DB that's supposed to be DB1, and that's what we were sold, him coming out of New York playing opposite side of Sauce Gardner, he'll be DB1. He'll help us against some of these wide receivers that we'll have to see in this division. He was playing from behind the whole season long.
You're right. It's about expectations. When you sign a guy who's going to make $17 million for you, and he had a good year in New York the year before. I know he didn't have any picks, but he had a good year, reportedly, opposite of Sauce Gardner. When you pay a guy like that much money and you say, you want to be the one, you are the one. then you've got to perform like the one, and he did not.
No.
So the disappointing, you could make the argument that he might have had the most disappointing season of any lineman, or any Lion, I should say. Think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
For the expectation, I mean, how much did we really expect from Graham Glasgow? He wasn't very good. I didn't expect a ton from him. Okay.
He also told us that low key, this is not my favorite position. Like, he gave us a disclaimer before the season started.
He did. Tyleik Williams, he's just a rookie, so it's probably not fair. You know what this guy said when they drafted him? The next day, you know what he said? I never noticed him against Michigan, and that to me is a red flag. That's what Braylon said. It's a good point, though.
Fair.
It really is. It's a really good point. It's the biggest game. It's the best team that they're going to play for the most part during the regular season, and I didn't recognize him.
Like, when you draft Arvell Reese this season, whoever it is, probably going to be number 2, probably be New York Jets. Like, when you draft him, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I know who that guy is. Mm-hmm. Like, I know who he is.
Because he was all over the field.
100%. Yeah. First time I turned Ohio State on this season, last season, he and Downs, obviously, we know how good he is. But Arvell Reese was the first person I noticed in that defense. So.
Braylon, is it possible to have a DB1 on your team, undersized, under that kind of like, that 6 foot kind of frame?
Yeah. That's the question?
Yeah. Is it possible? Like, because like the Lions, they're built, like their whole team is built off these smaller corners who can tend to, especially in a man coverage scheme, like
that's why they use the smaller DBs, because they usually smaller DBs have better hips, they have better feet, and they're faster, so they kind of play with an open stance and then able to take off and catch up a lot of times. That's kind of like the strategy behind it.
And they just aren't doing it.
I think you can, but you can. There's been a lot of DBs that some of the best DBs of all time have been under that 6 foot moniker. I mean, Ty Law was a monster. It didn't matter if you were playing man or if you were playing zone. I mean, Rondé Barber was good as well in these spaces. I know they're a little bit older. I think you can. Yeah, I think you just have to do your homework, scout. Like, what do you see when these guys are in college? Like, do you see they be able to contend with the number 1 players on the team? Our dudes, number 1 DBs, or our guys product of the backside? Like, we watch DJ Reed now. I'm like, oh, how much of that is when the New York Jets are going against Stephon Diggs in Buffalo? Well, he's being covered by Sauce Gardner, not you. So you're getting Gabe Davis. It's not that hard to check Gabe Davis, as we're starting to see. So that's what we want to see from DJ Reed this year. Because for him, giving him a little bit of relief, if you will, safety play wasn't good this season. Like, once they got injured, although the DB struggled even when they were healthy, when you lose Brian Branch and you losing Terry Arnold, as good as those DBs have, those safeties has been in their career, those are major losses, and it does not help DBs at all. You don't have guys over your back. You don't have guys calling it out. You don't have guys shading to your side because they see something that you may not and cover your back. They didn't have those type of safeties playing for them this year, so they got left legitimately on an island all season long.
I try not to look at it. I'm not saying that it's not important, because I think if you're a little bit taller, it does help you. Okay, so being 5'9" doesn't help. It's interesting. Lions fans wanted Amik Robertson, and he's 5'9". Okay, but anyway,
they like the underdog story. That's our city of Detroit.
Yeah, I know, you're right.
They like the underdog
story. Even you sometimes get a little tired of that narrative. Yeah. How big do you think they have to be at the cornerback? Who wouldn't want Devin Witherspoon?
When you name,
I'd want Devin Witherspoon, right? Okay, he's outstanding, right? He's the same size as Terry Arnold.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Okay, so what? As long as they can play, I don't give a crap. I just want them to be able to play.
But to this point, like the taller ones, the ones you do here as the elite, they typically are the 6 foot range.
Yeah.
That 5'11" and a half to 6'1" and a half. I mean, that's what you hit. Like the ones that I played the best against. Marcus Trufant was right there, 6 foot. Champ Bailey, who I think is the best DB that I played against, and I was at Revis. I think Champ's one that I played against at the time period, then Revis. But Champ was 6'1" with long arms. Revis was 6 foot and a half, stout. Like he had patience and grown man strength. Like I never saw him in the gym, but I never saw him miss a press.
Yeah,
100%. He's 6 foot. Like Richard Sherman, 6'2" and a half.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a freak. If you look at it today, though, if you look at Philadelphia, Quinyon Mitchell, who wouldn't want him? Who wouldn't want Cooper DeJean? They're both 6 feet. So I get that. Right? Absolute studs. All right, quick timeout. We're going to hear from Kool-Aid from Los Angeles. He's at the NBA All-Star Games. He's going to check in. We're going to talk a lot of NBA hoops as we move forward. That's for sure, like some of the best All-Star moments that you've had. What's wrong with the All-Star Game? And who's the next Piston who could make it to an all-star festivity. Besides Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, we'll try to reach all of that in the final hour.
I like your topic too. We'll figure it out a way to get in there, man. Top 5. 5 teams that made the playoffs
and best dunkers of all time with the dunk competition coming up.
That's
okay.
easy.
Well, we could have a good debate about it. We'll get to that after this from Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. They are champions. They are, we were just talking about who's the best dunker. These guys are the best at what they do too. It's taking care of your furnace, taking care of your air conditioning unit. They are fast. They are dependable. They know what the hell they're doing, all right? They want to keep your heating system and your cooling system running safely and efficiently. Go to their website today, sharonsheating.com, or call them 734-238-3805. That is 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
The most talked about Detroit media, live Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
When you have everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown in the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This
guy's got a hot girl. Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Massage Chair House. Looking to take your relaxation to the next level? Visit Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair house showroom in the Midwest. Featuring top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki, this is your destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness technology. Listen, we got one in studio. It's absolutely lovely. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Caesars Sportsbook. If I told you you could place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you'd get that money back, you'd probably be like, Joey, what the hell are you thinking? Scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposited bet back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
And we back, Shep.
To Hefe's point.
Okay.
To Hefe's point, Pro Football Focus. Since 2010, okay? Or I'm sorry, since 2016, the highest rated cornerbacks in the National Football League. The first three, all 6 feet or bigger.
Yeah.
Okay? Witherspoon, DeJean, and Jalen Johnson of Chicago. Just so people are aware. Yeah. You don't like Cooper DeJean?
He's nice, but like he's a little bit overrated. Like he's a little bit of product of the system that he plays in. Like he's playing number 2 on a defense that is freaking insane. Like
is Quinyon Mitchell overrated?
No.
Why?
He's elite because what he did in college is the same thing he's doing now, just like Cooper DeJean. But the difference is Quinyon Mitchell didn't give up a pass, reception, or a touchdown in college for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when you see him and see how he plays, see how he switches, they don't switch Cooper DeJean.
Mm-hmm.
They switch Quinyon Mitchell all the way around in that defense. So
okay, that's the way they've got it rated since 2016.
Who got drafted first?
Is Kool-Aid with us? Yeah,
no,
not yet.
Let's give him 10 minutes. He's almost to the arena.
No problem. It's he's doing us the favor. We appreciate it as always. But speaking of the Pistons, they've got 2 All-Stars. They really have 3 All-Stars because JB Bickerstaff. So good for him. I'm happy for him. Who do you think is the next guy on this team, as it's situated now, who would be an All-Star possibility?
I think it's Asar Thompson. I think that's the first one that comes to mind. I have 2.
Okay.
I can't just do one. I have 2. Asar Thompson is the guy that's playing right now, that's starting on this team that I believe will take that reign and become one. I think he becomes in the manner of like a Sean Marion, kind of like a Jimmy Butler, where they started off as defensive prowess. They started off as being versatility. I can get you rebounds. I can get you block. I can get you assists. I play on both ends of the court. And eventually they came into their own and they became all-stars, both of them 4 times or more in the case of Jimmy Butler. So I see him like ascending as a star like that. We know he came into his league wanting to be a defensive shutdown. Right. He wanted to come into his league, become a defensive shutdown, and he's closing in on becoming that type of player. He's also starting to find himself on the offensive side, starting to find more buckets, more points. So I think the versatility of him will see him have his all-star debut, maybe not next year. I'm not going to give you next year, although, yeah, it's a long time between now and next February. But for sure, 2028 all-star game, I think he might be a part of it in some form. And
I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying to think of guys who aren't as productive offensively. Like, obviously, Dennis Rodman comes to mind.
Right.
You know, Dennis Rodman was just a phenomenal player. He's only a two-time All-Star. He's a Hall of Fame player. He's only a two-time All-Star because he was viewed as a great defender, which he was. He's one of the elite defenders the league has ever had, and because of his ability to rebound.
Draymond Green doesn't average that many, like per se. Like even when he was in his All-Star making appearances, like Draymond was not here averaging 19. Draymond was floating around 13, 14 points, but he had so much else into his bag. He was such a vital key, and obviously they won championships.
Yeah.
So that's another way to become an All-Star, is if your team can win championships.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. In fact, Draymond Green was an All-Star in 2016, averaged 14. The next year he was an All-Star, averaged 10. The next year he was an All-Star, he averaged 11. Since that time, and he averaged 7.5 in 2022. Yeah. My thought was Asar Thompson, too, and then I remembered, this guy's averaging about 10 points a game this year, averaged about 10 points a game last year. Can you be an all-star based on your defensive prowess? And I think you can if you do some of the other things really, really well, whether it be in Green's case, rebounding or even steals. Asar Thompson probably has to improve his rebounding if he's going to get that type of nod. I don't think there's anybody else on the team that is worthy of that type of accolade. Except for Asar Thompson. He's the only one I can see reaching that level.
What about somebody on a different team? Like that's the other side of it. Like Chris Middleton, he didn't make the All-Star team as Detroit Pistons, but he did for the Milwaukee Bucks. Is that somebody like a Janice Jenkins that on another team? Is that a Javante Green?
You mean if he went to another team?
Went to another team.
Yeah,
Janice Jenkins on another team. Javante Green on another team. What does Paul Reed look like in this brief little period as he's replacing Beef Stew? Does he get another opportunity for another team and he can show off what he does? So I think to your point, there is no other All-Star that I think is going to make it on this team currently.
Right.
It would have to be somebody that's on the bench that's going to go somewhere and maybe become a star.
Yeah, in a couple of years, it'll be Asar. I think it's as simple as this. He's a jump shot away from being an All-Star. He can do it defensively. Okay. We all know that. He can pretty good, I would say, with facilitating the ball. When like Cade is out, he's pretty good handling the ball. But I think he's just simply a jump shot away.
You know what you can tell when you watch those two is Amen and Asar. You can tell Amen was always the scorer of the two.
For sure.
And you can tell when they grew up, he was the one scoring, and Asar was the one, hey, look, I got you, big bro, even though they're the same age, whatever. I think Asar is actually older, but I think Asar was the one kicking to Amen, because Amen, when you watch him, he's naturally better on the offensive side, to your point.
You're saying when you say jump shooter, you're not talking about a three-point shooter. You're talking about a guy who's going to make it on a consistent basis. Shoots about 55% from two right now.
Rise up and hit a mid-range and can hit an open shot, maybe an open shot three.
So not necessarily a three-point shooter, but I get that.
Correct.
He's 55%, but we know that's dunks and layups.
Yeah, I know. But it's still, like I said, it's 2-point field goal percentage. You're talking about jump shooting. I don't have those statistics broken down on where he is from 16 or 18 feet. I just want to clarify it was either three-point shooting or just jump shooting in general. Yeah. If you're Richard Hamilton and you've got that mid-range jump shooting capability, that's pretty damn good. You'll take that every single day. Hefe, until Kool-Aid joins us, who do you got? Anybody other than Asar Thompson you could possibly see there?
It is Asar Thompson. I don't think there is another player on this team at this current moment that can reach an all-star level, even if they went to a different team. But Asar Thompson, he's not just a jump shot away. He's just aggressiveness away. Because truly what
needs to shoot more, you're saying?
He needs to be more aggressive around the basket. Because with his athletic ability, he should be able to get to the basket, make layups at an efficient level. But the thing that Asar struggles with is his free throw shooting.
Yeah.
Him shooting below 50% or around 50%, that is going to cause him to kind of not trust himself in going to the basket, because if he is fouled, he knows that he doesn't really trust himself enough to make a free throw.
Yeah, you're right about that. 58% from the free throw line for a guy of his capabilities is unacceptable.
Yeah, I think he and his brother are kind of like the last of that Ignite, that G League Ignite kind of experience, if you will. let's not go to high school. Let's go to G League. Like, they made it so much like college is just ultimately a bad thing. I think when you do not go to college, you miss out on the fundamentals of the game. Because when you're as good as the Thompson brothers are, you're not going to a small school. You're not going to a school where a coach is teaching off YouTube. You're going to one of the big blue chippers. You're going to Michigan State. You're going to Kansas. You're going to UNC Duke. There you, I give love where love is due. You know, you're going to Michigan with Dusty May, but you're going to those schools, and when you go to schools, you're going to take free throws seriously. You're going to take the game seriously. You're going to take the little things around it and become a better player. I think that could have helped Asar before he got to the Pistons.
I like that.
Because he leaves the G League Ignite and he gets drafted to a effed up situation.
Yeah.
And Monty Williams and what the Pistons were. So it takes even longer now for him to kind of come out of that under J.B. Bickerstaff.
Yeah, and his free throw shooting has gone down this year from last year, and last year wasn't all that great either, at about 64%. All right, the All-Star festivities begin in earnest. What you think of the All-Star game? I mean, I can do without it. I don't like it at all, quite honestly. I'm tired of the dunk contest. I've always
Max McClung. He'll find his 10-day contract
twice. I've always enjoyed the skills competition. I used to really like the game, but the dunk competition is just kind of, for me, old hat. That doesn't mean that I didn't like it at one point. Who's the best dunker you think in NBA history?
Side note: I'm glad Chris Paul retired, and the reason why, the move he did last year in the All-Star game when he was trying to show Victor Wembanyama how to cheat the system and just throw the ball out of bounds, that was the most disinterested I've ever seen. And I was like, I mean, I get it. Everybody's out there clowning, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? You probably have a couple pops in the locker room as you're going out there, but playing like that, there's no room for that in the All-Star game. But anyway, all right. Dunks of all time. Come on, man. It's easy, man. It's Vinsanity. Like,
there we go. He's
the answer to two of the questions that you asked me today. Like, legitimately, Vince Carter, I'm going to tell you about this moment right here. It's 2000. The dunk contest did not happen in 1999. This is year 2000. This is 2000 season. Yeah, 2000. I'm legitimately in my room. I'm waiting for the All-Star game, which was in Golden State that year. I'm waiting for this, much like everybody else. Like, I'm not any specialty as it relates to waiting to see what Vince Carter was going to do. We got Kool-Aid?
Yep.
All right, bet. So Vince Carter is the answer. Like, legitimately, I remember that night, had my little TV that had the VCR in it, the old school combo. I had it ready, locked and loaded, had the tape in there. The start of the All-Star game. Pistons had 2 All-Star games. Both of them crapped a bit that night. It's okay. Jerry Stackhouse. But anyway, Vince, his first dunk, he let you know. And Kenny Smith utters the infamous words after the very first dunk. What's going on, Shep? I see you, my guy. Neil Rule. It's
Don't you have a home?
over. And that was after. He probably got a little clean shape. Shout out to Lady James, Wicked Awesome.
I do think this is an easy question. It's David Thompson. David Thompson is called Skywalker. Anybody who inspires Michael Jordan on his dunks, that tells you how great of a dunker he is. I could have gone Dr. J, because Dr. J is super underrated as a player and as a dunker, but I'm going to go with David Thompson. He is the greatest dunker in NBA history. The stuff that he did back then, if they showed it today, you would still be in awe. And he could do it today.
Everything doesn't have to be from your era, though, Shep.
I didn't say it did.
Everything
isn't Vince Carter from your era?
But I choose stuff from now and in the past. Like, I got Dr. J on my list of players that I want to see come back.
That's beautiful.
100%.
Yeah.
But, like, stop playing. Like, David Thompson was amazing.
He was.
He's not Vince Carter.
Oh, that Vince Carter wishes he was David Thompson.
I feel you. Like, what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to it because he was a shorter dunker. I get it.
No, I
get
quite
it.
honestly, I didn't even know that.
David Thompson's like 6 foot.
All I care about is how he dunked and how high he got when he did dunk. Listen, I love Vince Carter.
These two are not from our area. In fact, 19 years old is Joey in the booth. So I have Joey by 24 years. Who's the best dunker of all time, Joey?
You want me to give all time, or you want to give me in my era, like when I was born?
Yes. Of all time.
Matt, what do you want? All time?
Whatever you want.
All right, I'll go all time. It's got to be MJ, right?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad
but
at
if
that.
If I had to go my era, if I had to go my era, and the people that I've seen with my own eyes, I would say there's 2 guys. I would say Anthony Edwards or Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose is really good. Those are really good ones.
Before he got hurt.
Those are really good ones. I got a list too, though, Shep. When you're ready to do this, list.
Okay.
Let's hear Kool-Aid's.
I'm surprised nobody said Kobe, but I get it. All right, let's get Kool-Aid
of all
in here.
Time?
Let's hear Kool-Aid's best dunker of all time.
Kool-Aid.
There he is.
Hey, what up, though? Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, we can hear you fine, man. I got these new Beats by Dre's, man. They sound good. You sound good, too.
Thank you, man.
What's it like out there? Yeah, what's it like out there, buddy?
You know what? It's not snowy or cold at all. I can tell you that much.
Rub it in.
67, and it's pretty beautiful out here right now. I'm wiping off the sweat off my forehead, bro.
I like how you're repping Detroit with the old English D. What's on tap for Kool-Aid here today and the rest of the weekend? Help us out.
Well, there's a couple Detroit establishments out here. You know, the owners are from Detroit, and they're bringing us some food. So, Shep, I know you'd be proud of that. I found a way to get some food out of this thing. But other than that, we do got the Celebrity Challenge where we're going to be able to see Amon-Ra St. Brown, Keegan-Michael Key, as well as Matt Ishbia. A lot of Michigan flavor going on around this All-Star weekend, starting with the Celebrity Game. Going to get over to see the Rising Stars as well. But one of the coolest things, I'm going to show you guys where I'm standing. Kay Cunningham, man, just kind of on full display. If you can see him over there, man. Took the picture of that the other day. That is the main street. This is Intuit Dome behind me, the main entrance and everything. So it's been cool to see how they've had Detroit on display. Richard Hamilton, even yesterday, was a part of NBA Cares events, and he's going to be a part of another one today. So that's probably been the coolest and what's on the docket today.
What's the conversation around Cade Cunningham as you're out there in L.A.? And shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for taking your time, joining the show. What's the energy out there as it relates to Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons? First question.
Face of the league type stuff. You know, last year he was asked that question. He was a little hesitant to even say, can I include myself? But this year, you know, he's voted in as a starter, not a reserve. He's coming in knowing that the players voted him #1 overall in this All-Star voting. So that's kind of the vibe that you get around Cade Cunningham, especially seeing him off the sign. The interesting thing is Shea is not even going to be playing in this game. So the big star that they got on there that's going to actually be in this game is Cade Cunningham. And it's cool to hear people say, yo, especially in this town, in L.A. You know, you ask people, man, and they're like, yo, this Pistons team is kind of looking like that 04 team. And they would know out here.
Another question about last year, we watched Cade Cunningham, and he didn't really receive a lot of time in the All-Star game. I know that pissed a lot of Detroiters off here, including you, including me, including Shep, including everybody watching on the show. What are the minutes as it's been projected for Jalen Duren? Because he's the young guy on the team. He's the one that's not the star like Cade Cunningham. What are the projected minutes, if you will?
That's going to be an interesting thing there with Jalen Duren not being a starter and understanding that the minutes are already at a premium with this new format. I wouldn't expect to see Jalen Duren get a whole lot of minutes. I would assume it would be something similar to Cade Cunningham last year. You're getting your feet wet, but the people want to see the starters. And so I would assume he has similar rotation to Cade Cunningham did last year. But like Cade Cunningham, I do expect Jalen Duren to make some noise. Last year, Cade didn't get a lot of minutes, but you saw the flurry he had, including the dunk with Jokic and Wemby in the background. That really got some people kind of buzzing on social media as well as in that arena. And so I do expect Duren, a high flyer. You got J.B. Bickerstaff as their coach. He's coaching their team. Something tells me he's going to get them some minutes and the ability to get a couple of pick and rolls, alley-oops.
Who else, Kool-Aid, are you looking forward to watching besides the Pistons?
Honestly, this may sound funny, but I'm really intrigued with the Celebrity Game. But in terms of the actual players that are out here, man, it's going to be interesting and cool to just see how, whether they're on the court or not, like Shea, Wemby, Kay, and these guys interact with some of the other legends and vets that are here. And so that's been some of the coolest things. The last time I was at All-Star, my first time last year, the behind-the-scenes stuff, seeing these players pay homage to the guys, the greats, the ones that, you know, we all cheered for, that was one of the coolest things. Seeing Richard Hamilton revered in the setting. Seeing Junkyard Dog Jerome Williams last year revered in that setting. That is some of the coolest stuff to me. Some of the guys you see off the field, like I saw Worthy's going to be here playing in a tournament and such. Like that type of stuff is kind of that is like beyond exciting as like a basketball purist.
Yeah. So we talk about the players, and rightfully so, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. What about J.B. Bickerstaff? I mean, this has got to be a special moment for him, especially knowing that he's got a couple of his guys on that team. What's the sense you get from the satisfaction and the accomplishment that he rightfully deserves?
I think it's got to be a whole lot more than just satisfaction, man. When your team buys into your message and they believe what you're telling them, even though you were coming off of some of the worst basketball in Pistons history, it's something where when I hear him talk, I really believe he thinks this team is going to be able to compete for a championship this year. The sense I get from J.B. Bickerstaff is this is what I knew we could do, but unfinished business. And that's what I really like more than anything when you hear him talk. He says, this is a special group. He said he told them that at the beginning of the season. And Shep, we heard Jalen during that media day say this as well. Hey, look, JB said we're a special group. Now they're believing it. And it looks like JB, who was also voted in to be the president of the Coaches Association, big year for him, now head coach at the All-Star, #1 record in the league at the All-Star break. JB Bickerstaff looks like a guy who's just about his business right now. And that's how he's talking. He doesn't seem satisfied. He seems hungrier.
Hey, when did that happen, by the way? Just real quick. I mean, when did he get voted in as president of the basketball coaches?
That's news to us. Shout out.
Yeah, that was a couple months ago, I believe. Rick Carlisle wound up stepping down, and JB Bickerstaff unanimously was voted in.
Wow. Okay. I think that kind of went under the radar a little bit. Good for him.
You brought up Junkyard Dog, man, and we were sitting here talking about the 2000 All-Star game when obviously Vince Carter went ham. One thing about Junkyard Dog, he always was in the front row at those All-Star games. You always remember seeing his ball head self. So since we're talking about 100%, so since we're talking about favorite moments, and what are some of your favorite moments? Maybe just give us two, because I know your time is precious. Give us 2 moments from the All-Star game when you're a little jit, watching the All-Star game, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, you curled around that TV with your boys or your family. What are 2 of those moments that you remember?
Look, I could cheat and say 04 Pistons when all 4 Pistons walked out on that
was
court,
there.
and it was dope. But outside of the Detroit moments, there are 2 Kobe moments for me, actually. Rest in peace, Kobe. We're in Los Angeles. It was when he got to go up against Jordan. It was the way he took that matchup so serious. And then the bookend of that, how serious he took the matchup in the All-Star game against LeBron James. And LeBron wasn't even really ready for all of that type of, the level of enthusiasm and the level of, like, fierce competitiveness that Kobe was going to bring to the All-Star. And he was ready. He was like, look, bro, it's me and you. People are here to see us. And I love that. Those were 2 moments, like, growing up that really stuck out to me from a competitor's standpoint.
That's a great
Kool-Aid, before the show started, you can ask Shep. I was having a conversation with KG, and I said, for me, when the All-Star game changed, I said, is when legitimately LeBron James gets in front of Kobe in Toronto, slaps the 4, and then when Kobe gives him the look like, do you want to do this? And then LeBron gracefully bows out. You see everybody on the court had that look like, oh, damn, come on, LeBron. Like that was the moment from that 2001 All-Star game that you're talking about with LeBron and with Jordan and Kobe. That was the exact moment. That's what was supposed to happen. LeBron was supposed to check him. Right. They were supposed to go at it, and that would have been the passing of the torch. Yep. But you got LeBron like, nah, you got it, Kobe. Every All-Star game, whether they were All-Star individual, whether they were younger, they were middle, or they were older, they looked at that as the moment like, well, if the best player in basketball doesn't give a damn, why should we give a damn? That's when the All-Star game changed to me.
That's well said.
Facts. Yeah. And it's that moment Kobe and Jordan that reminded me of it.
Good stuff, Kool-Aid. Yeah. Hey, man, enjoy out there. We appreciate the contribution as always. You be safe. You've earned it out there. Have some fun,
Thank you, brother.
Hey, man,
I appreciate you guys always, man.
All right, brother.
Hey, it's beautiful out here. Thank you, guys.
All right, see you later, Kool-Aid. Talk to you soon.
Smash that like button, chat family.
There you go. That's what I was waiting for.
Always working. All right. Always working.
All right, everything. He's absolutely right, and you're right about that too. And everyone's talking about LeBron. He had the triple-double last night. And that's a hell of an accomplishment, all right? Oldest guy to ever have a triple-double, all right? He did it against Dallas. I guess the bigger question would be, why didn't you play against San Antonio 2 nights before?
You didn't play against San Antonio 2 nights before because this is who LeBron is. LeBron James is an individual that loves stats. He understands what this weekend is. He's going to walk into this weekend. He's going to be at all the events, or he's going to be at the private events. He's going to be around. The narrative about him right now is he's looking older than he ever has. He's falling off a little bit, and whatever. Yeah. I'm just saying that with the conversation. Sure. People that care about things like that, it matters. Yeah. He's one of those individuals. So the game before, I'm going to L.A., I'm going to hang out, be around, do my thing. I'm going to go out, I'm going to have a triple-double. Because now what is everyone going to talk about?
He should have been in the All-Star.
100%. So I'm not mad at this move. I don't like most of the stuff he does, but this one is what it is.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan, but it's hard. I cannot deny how good or how great he has been in his career. There's no way I'm putting him ahead of Jordan, and I wouldn't put him ahead of Kobe Bryant. And there's other guys I wouldn't put him ahead of. Doesn't mean I don't think he's an all-time great. He is. But
what's the highest he could get on your list? We don't have to go through who he's at, but what's the highest he could get?
Probably 5 or 6
for
me. Yeah,
I like it.
Wow.
It makes sense to the conversation. I like it.
It only makes sense from my perspective because of the people I've seen. I don't look at how many points the guy has scored, okay? And because if that's what you're going to do, then your ranking is going to be LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Karl Malone. And I don't think young people will say that, right? But I think there are certain players. I just don't know how you can deny Jordan. Personally, when you look at all the things that he's done, especially how much that he played 82 games just about every single year of his career, 9 out of the 12, I believe. But yeah, I mean, it's a good debate. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying for me, it's my personal list. That's the best conversation you can have with people when you start bringing up lists of the greatest of all time in whatever position or whatever sport, and then you have some great debate about it.
In my opinion, he's infatuated and he's obsessed, and he became obsessed with stats. Once he realized he wasn't going to get 6 or 7, and once the narrative around that changed, the hell with the rings, those aren't going to happen. I'm focused on stats. And now I'm going to just keep statting to now when they look at this years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, people can lay eyes on it. When they look at those, when you roll those stats out, they're going to see number 2 in assists, number 2 in steals, number 3 in rebounds, and number 1 in points, and number 1 in this. He's obsessed.
You don't think they can win it this year?
No. Okay. He can't win anymore.
Okay. All right.
Like
they're 12 games above 500. That's the only reason. I'm not defending him by any stretch. I don't think they can either. I think there's 3 teams in the West, and I think there's probably 3 teams in the East that can win it.
LeBron is 41 and ain't trying to play no defense, and Luka never has played defense.
Amen. That was my bitch last year.
Like
when he got traded, I said,
and you don't have a rim protector.
It's the whole team.
But that's
the whole team doesn't play defense.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
But that's why last year everybody looked at me like I had lobsters crawling out of my ears because when Doncic got traded, I said, look, I think he's a great scorer, but he's not a complete player. And I'm not saying that I would justify the trade. I'm just saying everybody makes it out. He's one of the best scorers of all time. I do believe that. But as a player, when you say player, I look at more than just a guy who can put the ball through the hoop. I look at both sides of the floor. That's why I like Kobe so much. That's why I like Michael Jordan so much.
When that trade happened, all the fans of basketball, which are not the players, they loved the trade because it was exciting. All the players in the NBA was like, that ain't going to work.
So you asked Kool-Aid something interesting about the All-Star game, one of the best moments. I want to get to that on the other side and a few other things, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're going to do that when we come back after this from Dr. Pierce, who was in studio yesterday and gave us a great education, bringing in some new friends. It was fantastic. If you missed any of it, try to find it, on Woodward Sports and Buddy's Pizza as well.
Yeah, go back, man. Check out that doc. Doc brings in people that have nothing to do with sports, but the stories are just as important, if not more important from time to time. Attention sports fans, don't miss expert injury insights from Dr. Jeff Pierce. You got a Michigan Sports Inspired. You can catch him on Big D Energies on Tuesdays, and you can catch him on our show, the Braylon Network Show with Shep, on Thursdays, where he provides you that knowledge and top-tier advice on keeping athletes in peak condition. Also, too, man, if you got any type of aches and pain and you need that diagnosis, remember, it's not about getting diagnosed. It's about getting the right diagnosis. And Dr. Pierce can do that for you. Look at the number on the screen and scan or that QR code.
Hey, Buddy's Pizza is celebrating 80 years of the original Detroit-style pizza. We love them, right? I mean, it's such good food, and it's something we should all be really proud of. So make sure you're following them on all their social channels for sure. But they're not just a pizza place, all right? They've got great salads. They've got signature pasta deals, right? They've got their buddy bread. All of that stuff is really good. And if you're looking for a way that you and your company or you and your family can have some type of big party, all right? You're going to have a catering event. Buddy's Pizza is the place to go. $200 or more, you're going to get 20% off your order. Use the code Woodward20 and enjoy Buddy's Pizza today.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
As the sizzles look no further, Black Rock Bar and Grill is your choice. Check this out. Valentine's Day, it will be here tomorrow, but it's still not too late to make that reservation. Make that reservation because, one, it's one of the hottest steakhouses around right now, and then two, when you talk about that steak on the stone, well, this is the place for you. If you go in there, though, mention Woodward Sports, 20% off your bill. Tell me that doesn't sound like the best Valentine's Day ever. Call now. Remember, Black Rock, it's not just a meal, it is a top rock experience.
You want to look sharp on Valentine's Day. At least I hope you do, and that means a good haircut, a quality haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men is the place to be. Walk in, sign in, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean and out the door. Lady Jane's, open 10 till 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome. I don't want to be the dark cloud here, but Jeff Passan has recently reported that a source close to a few of the Major League Baseball owners have told him that people are thinking about 2026. The owners are privately discussing no 2027 and what it could mean for the sport. Owners of small market teams view this as survival, and there's a belief within some ownership circles that that's what's happening now. The sport will get killed if there's any lockout. And some owners are just saying, look, if these guys want to lose 2 to 3 years of their career, then so be it.
Tigers better win in 26.
Dude, it's gonna be ugly, like uglier than just about any other type of lockout, strike.
Baseball's over.
Serious. It's a bad situation right now.
A lot of things are going to change.
Well, that depends on who wins, but I would agree. I think so too. I hope the players are ready for the long haul.
Shep, I was old enough, and I understand you covered it, but I'm saying from a younger perspective, I was old enough to remember what that lockout did to baseball. I was old enough, it was 93, 94? I was old enough to remember that it took a race like no other, which was filled with PEDs and steroids, to bring baseball back. We don't have that luxury this time around.
No, we don't. They want to burn the house down, then they can burn the house down, I suppose. It's
cheap ass owners.
It's hard for me. Yes, for the most part.
Just for that conversation that they had there, because a lot of them aren't cheap, but
correct.
The way they presented that conversation.
If it's true, absolutely, 100%. at some point, and we don't have to necessarily get into this now,
paid
but at some point you're going to be going, hey, here's the owners, they're multi-billionaires, right? That's what many people see, and their teams are worth it. You got players who are multi-millionaires. Not all of them are. We see the contracts of Shohei Ohtani and Tarek Skubal for 1 year, and Garrett Cole and all these guys, right? The guys down here, they ain't making that.
Which is the majority.
Okay? And we need to educate ourselves a little bit more. Like, Spencer Torkelson's going to make, $4 million this year because he won an arbitration, $3.5 million. He didn't make that last year. He had a big signing bonus, but he made, whatever it was, $700,000 last year. And I'm not saying that's not a lot, because it is. For the three of us, that's a lot. I'm just saying we automatically group them all into one, and that's not the way it works in sports. Mm-mm. There are a lot of haves and a lot of have-nots. It's the same thing with ownerships, though. All right? It's the same thing. A lot of those owners, though, could get more, could do more, could make more, and don't. All right, so we'll get into that some other time, but it's getting kind of ugly what's going on there. Your best NBA All-Star moments. You had mentioned the LeBron, but that's almost like a negative for you. What's your favorite? What's your favorite?
It's a couple moments, man. Like, I remember when Magic Johnson came back. As I told you, my dad and Magic were friends growing up, so I knew Magic 100%. When he came back in '92 and he hits the threes, I'd never seen Magic hit a three in my life, and he comes back and hits 6 of them, 7. I'm like, this is crazy. And
including the final shot, he hit the final shot.
And then how he was shooting, he was shooting from his hip.
Yeah,
So, but that was a hellified moment. I think Kool-Aid hit on a great moment. I was in Denver when all 4 of those guys were on the scorer's table waiting to check in, talking about Rasheed, talking about Ben, talking about Rip, talking about Chauncey, and it was special too because where's Chauncey from? Chauncey's from Denver. So that was a special moment. I was there sharing that one. Vince Carter, it's over. Like I still have the tape. I gotta find it somewhere around. Maybe I lost it in storage, but
you wouldn't be able to play it anywhere.
I still have one of those. I still have one of those. MJ and Dominique in the dunk contest going head to head.
Yeah.
I think that was special. AI in 2001. I mean, that's my era. Like that 2001 game. Jordan from the free throw line.
You got a great memory, man. There's a lot there.
I mean, a lot of them are tied to the dunk contest itself. When Shaq dunked on David Robinson and pushed him down, I like that one because they had a little beef going on. Even though Shaq created the beef, now we know. And then maybe when Grant Hill finally was in it. Grant Hill was in it year one. Had the turquoise desert uniforms. I still think those are number one all time. So
mine would be 86, and it's selfish, but it's Isaiah Thomas, 30 points, 10 assists, 5 steals.
MVP.
Led the East to a 139-132 win. You mentioned Magic. It's not that he just hit that final 3 or had the 6 triples. It's the fact that he had 25 points, 5 boards, 9 assists, and, of course, what he had come back from. Yeah. Here's the biggest surprise one, and then you guys, Hefe and Joey can chime in too. Here's the bit, and that was a blowout game. I think it was like 150-something to 113. Got killed. I'm going to give you these numbers and tell me if you think this guy would have been MVP in any, whether his team won or lost. Ready?
Yeah.
42 points and 24 rebounds, but his team lost by 20. Do you think he would be deserving of an MVP? 42 points and 24 boards. His team lost by 20. You would say, Hefe's shaking his head. No? 42 points and 24. That's not in a career All-Star game. That's in one All-Star game.
I seen Russell Westbrook go for 50. I seen Russell go for 50, win MVP, go for 48, not win MVP, and go for 42 and not MVP. Mm-hmm. So I can see it.
Okay. I said 24 rebounds in addition to the points.
Yeah.
Okay.
I truly believe that if the MVP goes to the winning team, whoever the best player was on that winning team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It used to go to the best player or who's the all-star that is in the host town. And they would look out and show love. Like, that's how it used to go. Like, if it's in Detroit, don't worry, Cade. You know what I'm saying? We got you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but now it's like, all right, shit, who wants it?
Which can't wait to see, by the way.
Just so people know, it was 1962. It was Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain had 42 and 24 and lost out on MVP honors to Bob Pettit, who had a great game.
Atlanta Hawks or St. Louis?
St. Louis Hawks. Yeah. But 42 and 24, but his team lost by 20.
But it goes, okay, I'm so glad you said that. It goes back to the conversation we were having earlier about Jokic. Mm-hmm. When you see somebody doing something amazing, like, don't forget he had 100. Mm-hmm. So when you see 42 and 24, you're like, that's an off night.
Yeah. I guess. If there was one guy, one NBA All-Star who you wish you could bring back that maybe you didn't see, who would it be?
Okay, I'm glad you had that second caveat because I had two people on my list. One was Vince Carter, but I've talked enough about him today. It's Dr. J. Mm-hmm. Dr. J would be the guy that I bring back, and the reason I bring him back is because for as good as he is, for as good as he was, for how players revere him, and I've seen this in person. I've had conversations. I've even talked to Dr. J himself. I don't have enough video log to justify the miraculousness that's him. Mm-hmm. Like I've seen a couple moments. Obviously, we know the infamous moment on the baseline against the Lakers. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen the afro with the Nets, and when we've seen the fights. We've seen when he finally won the championship. I want to say 84 or 85. Mm-hmm. Like we've seen those moments, but I want to see like what was it like? Because players still revere how great he is, and I don't think stats. And I don't think video highlights do him justice. You go on YouTube, you're not going to see a lot of pictures of him shooting jump shots, which used to be one of my running jokes. Mm-hmm. I won't run it with you. I feel like I get in trouble. But Dr. J, because for as great as he is, I can't peg it, and I think we can't. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain, I get.
Yeah, that would have been mine. Wilt Chamberlain or Jerry West. Never saw them in person. Never saw them play.
Dr. J,
but those are the two guys. I mean, Jerry West was unbelievable and as an all-around player, and Wilt Chamberlain such a dominating performance. Dr. J is one of my favorite players, 16-time All-Star, 11 in the NBA, 5 in the ABA.
What was his game like? Break his game down a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think everybody talks about him as a high flyer, and for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, he was incredibly graceful through the air. Like, if you're talking about greatest dunkers, he's in that conversation.
He's on the list.
But he was literally, his body movement, his ability to contort, his ability to shape the ball and things like that, very close, very much like a Michael Jordan type player. Wasn't as quick as Michael Jordan, okay, but he wasn't as good defensively as Michael Jordan. He could shoot the basketball, though. He wasn't a three-point shooter, but he's a good mid-range shooter. But again, I think he got labeled more as a guy who was strictly a dunker, and that's not who he was.
He was the first dunk contest. Yeah, it goes back to that.
I had last summer. I talked with him. I've met him a few times, but last summer I had the chance to sit down and talk with him for a little bit, and it's still. I'm not in awe by any stretch. There's really nobody I'm in awe of anymore, but he is one of those guys I truly appreciate because he's the ultimate pro. He really is. He's an amazing player, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit. I've always said that about Dr. J. Jefe, who would be the one guy you never saw that you would like to bring back so you could see them as an all-star?
George Mikan. No, I'm joking.
For me, it would be Jordan. Like, Jordan retired when I was 2-3 years old, so I never got to really see that. So I would have loved to seen Jordan in the All-Star game, and just Jordan in general, in terms of the legend that he is. Mm-hmm. Seeing that in real time, like that would be special, because my GOAT is Kobe, and that's who I got a chance to see in real time. And as I got older and started to really recognize what basketball was and why do I love it and stuff like that. I gravitated toward Kobe, and I know Kobe was super close to Michael Jordan in terms of what they do on the basketball court. So I would have loved to see Jordan.
Good one.
That's actually a really good one too.
Do me a favor, if you haven't already, go back and look at some Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah, Hakeem's good too. Yeah,
his footwork as a big man was
he's still working with cats.
Almost unrivaled.
Yeah, he does. Yep,
he's a phenomenal player. Phenomenal player.
I would love for him to work with Jalen Duren.
I would too. I'd love to see Jalen Duren expand his game a little bit more offensive. I think he's expanded a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why big guys would ever not go and talk to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Tell me how you got the sky hook. And talk to Hakeem Olajuwon about your pump fakes and your footwork around the basket. He had footwork like a guard.
The sky hook, man, you can have it. Like even if I was a big guy, I wouldn't ask for the sky hook because it was just his. Like it was perfect. That sky hook was too hard to do.
It's never gonna be done again.
A lot of people, they had a little baby hook, but the way in which he was able to. Yeah, curl that. Nah, I'm cool on that.
It was an unstoppable shot.
But
that's why you got to go look for it.
It's true, but it's him. Like you got to be a perfect height of 7'3" with long arms, balance, grace. Like you're not getting that shot off as just a 6'9" guy trying to steal that from Kareem.
Right.
I remember Paul Warfield, who was a scout for the Cleveland Browns. When
Good
I was
receiver with Miami, too.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
100%. He's a Buckeye, but, I forgive him for that. I'll never forget. He's watching me in practice, and this is my rookie year. And I had just come back from something, whatever, but I'm out there on the field. He's talking to me in individual drills. He comes up to me and say, you know what, Braylon, you know what I used to do? Very, very, very soft-spoken man. He said, you know what I used to do? He said, man, I was a firm believer of the three-point stance. He said, what you do is you get your hand down like this and like demonstrate it. And I'm looking at that. It's so funny. Now I look at it. I'm older and I see how people look at me when I give them advice. I'm looking at him like, what? What is this old fool talking about? Like, you serious?
Did you ever do a three-point stance?
Hell no, I ain't doing no three-point stance. Anybody doing three-point stance? Like, by the time just imagine these DBs that we're talking about today. I put myself in a three-point stance on the ground and Pat Surtain's across from me. And Quinyon Mitchell's across from me. Cooper DeJean, if you want
laughing their ass
is across
off.
from me. Like, all right. So, no, I never implemented it. But he had a lot of success. I mean, he's not the oldest receiver. Hell, Michael Irvin was doing the three-point stance when he first got into
I didn't know that.
Because that's what he did in Miami. And wearing 47, which is one of the ugliest numbers of all time. But he was doing a three-point stand. I say that to say it worked for him. And looking at 43, I would not look the same way. I'm like, I appreciate you giving me that advice. I'm going to choose to stick with, upright and be able to get here and there. But I appreciate that, GOAT.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
I
conversation with Paul Warfield. Yeah, he was a hell of a player. Joey, who's the guy you'd bring back or you'd like to have, like to be able to see? This would be an interesting answer here from Joey because of his youth and how far back he's willing to go.
Jordan was a great one.
I don't think he's going to go Dolph Shays, but he's going to go back somewhere.
I saw Danny.
I'm going to say Shaq.
Oh,
I'm going to say Shaq. Just because, how dominant he was back then, and obviously the NBA has gotten, in my opinion, way more soft. So, could he be as dominant, with it being super soft nowadays? Or would he be worse of a player because of how evolved the three-pointer has been? So, I think he'd still be an absolute stud.
Yeah, I think
so
too.
But you don't know how long. You don't know how long that could go with the three-point shot because all these bigs are shooting threes nowadays.
Shaq was
he's the 15-time All-Star. I think it's the fifth most.
Yeah.
I think he's probably I remember walking. I called a Pistons-Lakers game one time, and I was walking out of Staples with him. And I remember saying to myself, it's not like we were hanging out, okay?
Right.
I was just happened to be walking next to him.
Shaq's your boy?
No, he's not my boy at all.
They ran prime and proper.
I remember looking at that dude going, this is like the biggest individual. I mean, George Murason's probably the biggest guy I've ever been in touch with. 7'6". I mean, I come up to his armpit if I'm lucky. But Shaq, just the massive size of the man.
Yeah.
And a great dude, by the way. He's a great dude.
Oh,
the massive size of the guy.
Here's one of my Shaq stories. So I'm in Miami. This is 2006. This is when the Pistons go down there, and this is when Miami beat the Pistons in Eastern Conference Finals. So I go down there after the game, and I'm hanging out. My agent at the time is friends with Shaq's agent. So we're down there, we're kicking it, we're having a good time. I'm down there cracking jokes on Tim Hardaway. This is the first time that I meet Big Tim. So Tim and I have conversation. I'm lighting Tim up. I'm lighting the jeans he's wearing up. I'm like 23. I'm in my joking
Tim
prime.
Hardaway Sr.
Tim Hardaway Sr. Obviously when junior. My apologies. I'm lighting him up. Shaq comes out in a big walking suit. He had the big, gray walking suit on with the black shirt, silver diamonds, the whole 9 yards. He walks up, and me and Tim are in a heated joking, back and forth. And I hit the last joke, it was game over. I cracked on the jeans, and Shaq walked up and tapped me in the back. But he was like, "Hey, big fella, that was funny. That was a good joke. That was a real good joke.
I'm laughing right now."
And then he slapped me in the back. I was like, holy shit. And then, you look up, the Shaq came from behind me.
Yeah.
So it's not a size that you ever just want to be like,
yeah.
Hey, what's up, Shaq? How you doing, man? It's nice. You don't want to meet Shaq like that.
Yeah.
But that's how I met Shaq, and that's the first conversation we ever had.
His hand engulfs your back.
Yeah.
That's how big his
He's
hand is.
Big fella, that was a funny joke.
Amazing player and a great dude. A dominating player. Almost as
drinks on him that night, too.
Yeah, almost as dominating as Wilt Chamberlain. When Wilt Chamberlain played, although I never saw him play either. We'll get.
He had 100, supposedly.
Oh yeah.
Allegedly.
There's no doubt about that.
And where's that video footage? They keep showing all this video footage of Wilt Chamberlain now. It's coming out. It's the reproduce and it looks good.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that video footage on that 100 ball.
And to answer Joey's question about whether or not Shaq would be the player that he was back then. Nowadays,
he
like
would.
it
Remember
would
him
be
his rookie year.
intensified by triple because none of these bigs would have even
everyone's
had
soft.
they wouldn't have had the courage to get in his way. So
Also-
it would have just been free money for him all night long.
Also, too, Joey remembers Shaq as well. Now Shaq
Probably a
is
little bit slower.
7'3", 340 pounds. The Shaq that Kobe was like, if you would have worked out, you would have been better than me and everybody else.
Yeah.
You don't remember the Shaq that was coming out of LSU. That was like 7'1", 220 pounds, lean, trim. His first 3 years with Orlando, like you're legitimately watching him run up and down the court with the fastest. Like he's faster than Penny Hardaway, who's electric.
Yeah.
So
that was a dynamite combo, man. Those two guys.
He would have been. I think he'd have been able to do something nasty.
I think he would have been. Absolutely. All right, quick timeout, and then we'll wrap things up with some super chats and some things Hefe finds in the chat here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Perfect timing. Yeah, it's a perfect time. It's also a perfect time for a really good drink like Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Woodward Sports back at Art and Jake's for round 2 of the Michigan State Hoop Watch Party. And Cherry Wheat is riding shotgun for the whole thing. Get $5 shorts of Sam Adams Cherry Wheat at any Art and Jake's location across our great state. Happens on Mondays, happens on Thursdays, happens on Saturdays. Light, refreshing, brewed with real Michigan cherries, smooth enough to sip at the game, whether your team wins or loses. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Please drink responsibly.
Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, Braylon Edwards Show. Every year, it seems like there's at least 4 or 5, sometimes 6 NFL teams that make the playoffs one year, don't make it the next. Give me the teams you think, I don't care how many you pick, give me the teams you think who made it this year won't make it next year.
Here we go. I think the New England Patriots will miss the playoffs next year.
Wow.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will miss the playoffs next year.
Okay.
I think the Panthers will miss the playoffs next year. I think the Green Bay Packers will miss the playoffs next year. And then I think the Houston Texans will miss the playoffs next year.
Whew. That's 5. That's big. Those are big numbers. I put Pittsburgh, Carolina, Green Bay.
Oh, you got Green Bay in there too? Yeah.
Philadelphia.
I thought about Philly.
Okay. And I did take New England, strictly because of strength of schedule. Those are my 5, if I had to take 5.
You guys aren't Drake May believers?
I do like Drake May. I think he's good.
I like Drake May, but them not making playoffs next year isn't necessarily about Drake May. What it's about is they've afforded themselves the number 1 schedule. Yeah. On top of they spent so much money last year, they don't have a ton of money lying around to improve their team. Yeah. And they got exposed in the Super Bowl to how their wide receivers really are.
You still don't think they can maybe win their division?
Well, I think Buffalo will be a much better team this year, and they'll beat them. I don't like Buffalo. I don't like the whole experience. I think the coach, they fired the wrong coach. I don't like that situation, but I think they will be better than the Patriots next year. Right. But I think it's not about their division. I'm looking at the AFC West.
Right.
The AFC West is going to have 3 teams in the playoffs next season. Yeah. May even, I'm just joking, but you have those. Then you'll have to have Baltimore will be back. That's 4. Then you have, it'd be 5.
Jacksonville probably.
Jacksonville repeat.
I
thought about them, but
I'm surprised he said Houston. I think Houston's good.
Yeah, Houston's defense is good, but C.J. Stroud over the last 2 years has been an inconsistent quarterback.
Correct.
And one to where you really have questions about what they do. And also, they have major injuries at the wide receiver position every single season.
But to your argument,
offensive line was terrible.
But to your argument, you've got to take a team.
No. Nico Collins.
No.
Nico's my guy.
But you got to take a team to your argument. You got to take a team that if you don't believe New England wins their division, who's going to finish ahead of them in the conference? So that means obviously they're a wild card.
Buffalo.
Well, no, Buffalo wins their division.
Right.
I'm saying who is
Chargers.
Right. That's why I'm saying.
Between Houston or Jacksonville.
Right.
One of those teams is going to beat them.
Jacksonville, and I think the Colts are going to be a better version.
What I'm saying is you've got to figure
Who's
out
gonna
the
replace?
other wild cards who are going to beat that team out. New England out, for example. It's not that we're not Drake May fans.
Right.
It's just that you think that the Chargers or the Chiefs or the Broncos would be there, that Houston, for me, would be there instead of a team like New England, or maybe even a team like Cincinnati bounces back or something like that. That's all. All right, let's get to get some super chats and some other big-time chats for Braylon. I'm going to say goodbye to folks and wish you all a great weekend and a happy Valentine's Day to Brittany more than anybody else.
Anything going on for your Valentine's Day?
Well, that's a really touchy subject.
Say less.
What I should have done is probably make the reservations by now,
Ooh.
and I have not.
Black Rock.
Oh, you're done, man.
So, well, when you've been married as long as I have, okay, it's not like you're really done. But look, it was bad on me. To your point, bad on me. So you guys have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
See you,
great to see you guys. Awesome to work with you. And we'll see you Monday on the Braylon Edwards Show. Go ahead and fire away on those super chats.
I'll talk to you. What you got over there for me, Hefe?
Yeah, so at Middle Age Sneaker.
What's up, Middle Age Sneaker Chat?
I do like her.
Get out of here, Shep.
Fire. Mind blown. Loved it. Okay.
I appreciate that. We need to find out who was responsible for putting that together, because they did a hell of a job with that.
But it was fire.
We can. I'll watch that. I'm just joking.
Let's watch it again.
No. It was a little bit. It got a little long.
It was a little long. Dante 151 $10 super chat. I have a question
$10.
for both Shep and Bray. What are you guys' thoughts on Dame Lillard being a part of the 3-point contest? Also,
that's a hell of a
there's
question.
a lockout in baseball that would hurt players in the minors as well.
I appreciate this question. I actually wanted to talk about it, and I forgot. I probably know where Shep would side, and that would be with him not participating. And I tend to agree on this one. Look, Damian Lillard is a narcissist for not playing this season and then wanting to play in the All-Star game. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, legitimately, F the season, F what you guys are doing. But I'm coming from the All-Star game so people can talk about me. This is why a lot of things are failing for him right now in the real life as well. I think it's some BS. But on the other side, you got to appreciate somebody for being true to who they are. He said, look, this is what I do. I shoot threes. I'm the best at doing it, in my opinion. So, but I think it's garbage. Like, how do you miss a whole season and then all of a sudden I'm going to play the All-Star game?
I'll tell you what, Bray. I mean, there's a player that I would have loved to see in it.
It must be
plays for
incentive.
the Detroit Pistons that didn't get a chance to because, well, Damian Lillard probably
It better
took
not
his
be
spot.
Duncan Robinson.
It is Duncan Robinson.
Oh, my God. Duncan ain't ready for that moment.
Yeah, he shoots it, though. He shoots it.
He's starting to shoot it better. Like, and also, too, you're starting to see he's getting confident with, like, LCA and his role in this place, because he's starting to shoot, like, awkward-looking threes. He's starting to shoot contested threes a little bit more. He's starting to be a little bit more aggressive with his numbers. I'm noticing that those three-point attempts are going up every night. So, all right, I can rock with that. Yeah. Maybe he's coming out of the shell that, he's been in for the last 4 years.
That's what we need.
The cocoon, if you will.
And I ain't say that with the $2 super chat. I would bring back George Mikan, the great Laker.
I was joking and said somebody was going to say that, and they did.
Yeah. George
Mikan, man, the original Minneapolis Lakers, by the way, not the Los Angeles Lakers yet. The Mikan drill. Layup, 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 layup. I don't know about that. Like, it was way long ago.
That's way past my time.
Way long. Like, Bob Cousy, if I'm thinking about a little further back, something new. Because Bob was clean. I don't know how fast he'll be in this day and age, but he had the Chucks rolling back in the 50s and the 60s, if you will.
I think if you were in Chucks, like, that's just like it's a whole different time period. Like, the athletes and what they are now is like, it would have been different.
Yeah. What are you guys most excited about with the All-Star Weekend? Not necessarily the game. All-Star Weekend. Joey, I'll start with you.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's it.
I'm not gonna tune in.
That's a fair answer.
I'm not gonna watch shit. There's no reason.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, the celebrity game, like, I see Shams.
Celebrity games are terrible.
I see Shams putting up buckets like he's getting loose.
Like, why am I watching Sham Sharp like Sharanya? Yeah, that's, you know what? I don't have a problem with that answer. I don't. What about you, Hefe?
I'm excited to see Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. I mean, I know they're gonna do some lobs, and that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's pretty much the only thing I really can be looking forward to. I mean,
all right,
that's really about it.
Okay,
I can agree with
that's about it.
Yeah, same, absolutely same. And I think it's the same from the standpoint like Cade's ascending to become the guy, and once you ascend to become the guy, you start winning MVPs, whether it's All-Star or regular season. So I think if he has a really good game, wins MVP, this is kind of the precursor for what we all know in the city of Detroit, how great he is. But I think this is that precursor where now that national audience is like, I see him hoisting that trophy. Go ahead, Jeff.
And then for the last super chat of the day, the Purple Puma 8804 with the $5 super chat. Do you think a center like Eric McCoy would be a good fit for the Lions?
Oh, something like Eric McCoy. I think anything better than what they had last year would be the case. First of all, someone that plays the position. This is my position. I started this position. But McCoy is definitely a bad center. I think he's somebody to get the job done. We shall see. Whoever it is, better be a starting center in the NFL. Hefe, anything before we get up out of here?
Just tune in. It's going to be All-Star Weekend with Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. That's our highlight of the weekend for Pistons fans because we are on that break. We do get to see Jalen Duren back active in a game, so that's exciting. Right. And then after that, he's gonna have to obviously serve his one extra game suspension, but then we'll have him back. So just take it in.
401. That means we're up out of here. Look, man, I appreciate you guys. Joy, I had a great time with you, man. A lot of what they say about you is legit. A lot of fun, man. Hefe, you know what it is. Yep. From the time we met. So appreciate you guys for joining the Brother Network Show with Shep this week. Look, we can't do the show without you, so we appreciate you guys, man. Enjoy this Valentine's Day weekend. Take it slow. And on Sunday, watch Cade Cunningham win All-Star Game MVP. For Brother Network Shep, we will see you Monday.